this design here translates out to endure in the language of the Time Lords, circular Gallifreyan, and I'm here to explain how using this grid. And this script starts at the bottom and goes counterclockwise, like a time traveler going back in time. That's why our first little letter, the little letter E, is here, centered on the line of our word circle, and vowels are these little guys, and you can see the E kind of in the middle there. And then an N is a consonant, so it's going to be in the bigger grid section, and an N is a floating circle, so we're going to be in the second row, and it's in the very last column because it has one line ending on it. So do you see how there are these modifiers, the dots and lines, at the top of each of these columns? Well, those are the number of dots or lines that is needed to make the different letters in each of the columns. So, a D is a deep divot shape. So we're in the top row, and it has 3 dot modifiers. So we're in that third column there, well, fourth column, because there's the first column that has no dots or lines. And a D here in the design is more than 50% of a circle. And here are its 1, 2, 3 dots. And a U is another vowel, and vowels can be put inside consonants. So you see how those little circles for the vowels are also found floating inside the different consonants? And a U has a line radiating outwards, away from the center of our word circle, which is why this line is going out. And then an R is a shallow divot. So unlike the deep divot D, an R is a shallow divot and is 50% or less of a circle. But a D and an R both have 3 dots. They're in the same 3-dot column. It's just a R is in the third row, while the D is in the first row. And then our very last letter is another letter E here. And it makes it kind of cool, so our 2 E's are next to each other because this design is basically unraveled. It's the whole circle, except instead of in a circle, it's broken apart into a line. So E, N, D, U, R, E. And I've actually done a couple different color variations, including this other kind of natural looking endure with some earthy greens and kind of a wooden back. So yeah, that is that. Bye.